Let me know if you are able to see. Now you are able to see my screen now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, suppose if I change anything into my main data, these two files is automatically changed. We don't need to do task again and again. So that is the reason that we have to just main that file into stacking query and all these files together into data model. And now we have very important thing, guys, because in the Power BI we have to analyze via dates function or time intelligence function. In every project we have to use the time
One
intelligence.
question,
Yeah.
Harsha. So whenever I wanted to change in the crypto
Mm-hmm.
portfolio and symbol,
Mm-hmm.
so whenever I change anything, so it will be reflecting on the main file.
Yeah, also if you no, if you change in these two file, that it is not reflecting into this, but if you change into
Got,
this file, then it is reflecting.
got it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So guys, one more thing. For every data, we need one dates table separate, because for every data, not only for this project, we have for every project. If you are working 50 or 100 or 200 project, you need a separate date table. You need a separate date table, because date table is connected with the complete dates together, like months, year, quarter, financial year. Okay, dates requirement, whatever the requirement into we have date table, we need every time we need a separate date table of this. Okay, so now for this date table we have a separate, let me show you. This is coding written in background. We have, see, this is total coding written by a background. Right now I'm going to use this for the date table, but in the separate or next or 2 or 3 classes, after 2 or 3 classes, I'm going to tell you that how to connect the manual date table. If you don't need, if you don't have knowledge about this coding is written by me, not written by me actually. This is just working by a Power BI. Let me tell you. In this Power BI, how to show you. Yeah, close and apply. I'm going to show you how to make this coding little bit into Power BI and change and save into your main dashboard or main different sources. So I'm just going to connect you. See, this is my total two files. Here is the option under modeling tab. You have a new table. Yeah, so guys, here in the table tab, we have created a new table. And now I'm going to show you how to create a calendar table manually. Okay, so in this calendar table, we have this function, calendar auto function. So if you select this calendar auto function from your DAX function, just select this. So this is your calendar function. Okay, so it will give you the complete date table, but it is only a one column date table. One column means you have only date. You don't have any months, year, that kind of things. So if you select, if you need to identify that whichever is year, whichever is month, or that kind of, you have to just click on new column and add some more function. Add some more function. Let me tell you. Suppose I am going to use here as a year, and now I need a separate year from this table. So I'm just going to use my format function. Value is my calendar table of this date column. Select table number and date column, and you need format into 1114. This is your year column. Now see, your year is separate. Same way, your month, day, financial year, quarter. Suppose if you need 100 plus column into your date table, 100 plus column, you have to use 100 functions. Okay, and every project you need the complete same date table. Every project you need a date table. So that is the reason that one time you have to create your date table, and then coding that function we have pasted into here in my this function, and this function is pasted by a Power BI only. See, table dot add column, rename column, year. This function is written by, see, every function is same. Year, each date and year and date, and type text. Type text means your format function. So this date table give you the complete impact of your complete date table. You don't need to write a manual date table again and again. You can write a different date table in the same go. So that is the reason that I am going to tell you via coding. Now go to this transform data again. Okay. And under this query editor, you can just select this new source, blank query you have. And now here is the option of advanced editor. You can go to this advanced editor, and you have the coding written into your background. This one, copy and just paste it over here. See, paste it over here and just click on this done. When you click on this done, see, enter parameter means you have to write just start date, end date, and fiscal year starting month. Your date table will be ready. So this is just a parameter function we have to return for a date table. And you can connect multiple date table with this function. Like start date is 1/1/2021. Oh, sorry, 2021, 2020, 30. And end date is 31st/12/2022. I can write it there 2022, and fiscal year start month, suppose January. You can select with January. So if I click on this invoke, see, the new date table is ready, and you can just write it here as dates. See, your date, year, quarter of year, month of year, days of a month, then everything you have to with this date table function. Right now it's just small. I will give you the many more function, many more example of this date table. And this date table, ultimate date table, we have a separate session in which we have to just cover only date table, because date table is very important for our complete Power BI. So I'm just copy this file, drag this file into my folder, and now we have total of these three files: crypto symbol, crypto portfolio, and crypto dates. Now, so tell me guys, any doubt you have till now?
No, we are good.
Okay, great. Okay, so now I need to just close and apply. Okay, so now we have all the files, and now see, this is my manual, so I don't need this manual. So I'm just click on this and hide. So if this report will be hide from our Power BI view, but not from background. If you select over there, see, this table is there, not from background. Only the view is high. Okay, so no need. Our view is high. That's great. We don't need that kind of things. And now we have crypto portfolio, crypto symbol, and crypto total. We have complete date table now. So now this is my first point is covered, and this is first point name as I'm just writing. What is the name? See, in Power BI we have total of 7 components. 7 component. Number one is your data extraction. Sorry guys, actually I'm not well completely today. So data extraction. Second one is data transformation, and sorry, this is second. Okay, and third one is data load. So this function we tell as ETL2. I think you have heard about ETL. So this is extraction, transformation, and load function. Okay, so this is your complete ETL tool now. And now we have a fourth step. So fourth we have, uh, what is the fourth? Yeah, relationship. Data model. Data model means relationship. Guys, just a minute. I have received one call. Just a minute. So now this is my fourth step, guys, Power BI relationship. And now we have fifth one is DAX function. So this is our total reports view for every project. You don't need to do a task same way for every time. You have to just analyze. Fifth and just sixth function is data visualization. It means reporting. Seventh means you have to automate. Okay, automate the file. And these 7 steps you have to, for every project you have to maintain. And after that we have one eighth step, but this is not any step. This is just a function that shared the file with concerned person. Share the file. We have a star because this function is different. I will tell you later what is in the shares and files. So these 7 steps you have to maintain for all the files. Okay, first one is extraction, transform, and load, which we have done into this our project. Let me show you. This is my complete extract, transform, and load into Power BI. We have a data, and now we have to just analyze our functions for data model or visualization. Then our reports is ready, and then we have to just automate this report, and then we have to just share it with the concerned person like manager, employees, or director, or that kind of person, key manager, employees. So now fourth step we have a relationship. So I'm just going to my relationship model. Okay, so this is relationship model. See, this relationship is automatically connected. Crypto symbol, we have a name, and here we have also name. So this is automatically connected, but date is not connected. So if the date is not connected, you can just drag this date into this date. Now it is connected. This is just a relationship view that how to connect your date table. You have to just drag and drop the same column. And why it is not connected, guys? See, the column things is different. In the portfolio, we have just date, but in the dates, we have a date separate table. That is the reason that it is not connected automatically. You have to connect with your own and see how many types of relationship you have into your Power BI. I'm just click on this relationship and see edit relationship. You have to edit the relationship without any relationship connectivity. So this is your crypto
Harsha,
port.
so
Yeah.
Harsha, one question. Why
Mhm.
it is not connected default? The name is similar only, right?
Yeah, it is connected only when name is similar. If the name of the one, suppose if the one one table name is the same and second table name is also same, but the data type is different, then also it is not connected. Data type should be
Got
same
it.
for all the tables, for all the columns. If you have connectivity, because see, if I connect you, it's name versus name, because both these column name as a what I can say is a ABC data type. I will show you what is the data type. Click on this transform data. When you click on this name symbol, see name is data type is ABC. This is ABC. This is data type. When you click on this data type, you have a different kind of data type. Right now, this is ABC means it is a text data type. Same way, if you click on this portfolio, here also name and it's also ABC, it means it is also a text value. But when you click on this dates, it is called as date data type. Click date data type. And when you click on this portfolio, this is your date data type. And right now, when you select, it is date and time. So it is not same. If you select this date only, if you select this date only and just close and apply, then your data type of this date column and this date column should be same. See, now this date and this date should be same, and now it is automatically connected. If I unselect this, it is automatically connected. First go. So data type should be same for all this column. Then only you have to connect one column to another column or one table to another table. Okay. And now what types of relationship we have in Power BI? Okay. So total guys, we have four types of relationship. Here is the four types of relationship: many to one to one to many, or many to many. So guys, many to one and one to many, these both are the similar. It means the third one and the first one, these both are similar. Similar means together it's 100% similar. Nothing is different. Right now, relationship is taken as one to many to one. Why? Because in the portfolio tab, we have a date column. In the dates tab, also we have date column. We have matching together. We have connected together date to date. But in the portfolio tab, this 29th April 2013 is allocated multiple times, because in this portfolio tab we have a different kinds of date, portfolio coins or portfolio dates. It's a different, whether it's a duplicate date also 29 April. But in this date column, we all have unique number of items, unique number of date. Suppose if you select 8 July, only one 8 July is there on this table, not second 8 July. But if you select here 29th April, it has duplicate value. It has duplicate value. So that is the reason that many dates connected with one dates relationship is called as many to one. Suppose if your date table is above folder and crypto portfolio is down, then relationship is one to many. So this is the similar of many to one or one to many. So guys, understand or any doubt into your mind now, one to many or many to one relationship? Anyone, guys? Because guys, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. This is complete live. You can ask me anything. So I'm going to tell you again, one to one and many to one, what is the difference? One to many. Suppose if you are working in banking sector, okay, and your work is to like sell credit card, okay, and you have three types of credit card. Number one is diamond, number second is gold, number third is platinum. Okay, your working is to sell these three cards. And suppose on the 1st July 2021 and on the 2nd July 2021, you have sell total number of card, I think 100 cards. Same way here you have to sell 20 cards, 200 cards. And out of this 100, suppose 20 is diamond, 20 is gold, and 60 is your platinum. Same way here is suppose 50, 50 and 100. So you have sent these two cards. So guys, see, total number of card you sell is 100, 200. It means total of 300 card you have sell in those 2 days. But how many unique value of your card? Only three. So these three is a diamond, gold, and platinum. These three will include into dim table. It means dimension table. Okay, and these 300 cards, 300 cards which you sold during 2 days. During 2 days, what I can say, it is a fact table. It is a total of your fact table. Okay, it is your fact transaction, means total number of transaction. Sorry. So if you connect dimension table to the fact table, the relationship is called as one to many. Activity. If you connect dimension to fact, it is called as one to many relationship. Okay, and if you connect fact to dimension, it is called as many to one relationship. So now you understand and see here in my cases, this is my fact table and this is dim table. So fact to dimension means many to one. If you select dimension to fact, it is one to many. That is the simple things you have to identify, many to one and one to many relationship. So guys, tell me if you have any doubt.
No,
It
it's
is clear
clear.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, done. So it's clear now. So now our relationship part is done and we have connected relationship. And now we have to do some like DEX function part. So this is my main steps is there and now. So guys, this is our total of Power BI screen now, Power BI view. We have make the data ETL tool and relationship. Now we have to use some uh, analyzing part on this Power BI, on this currency part. So before analyzing guys, because see, every dashboard is very good for presentation. So we have to just analyze that how to present your data. So guys, this is your Power BI page and see in this is your tool of this Power BI page. Suppose if you need any information of this page, suppose right now page 1, if you need to change the page name, you can directly change as crypto summary, and directly change the name as crypto summary, and see the name is written crypto summary. So this is your page information. Page size, if you right now it's default size is 16 is to 9. If you change the size 4 is to 3 letter tooltip custom, you can custom means you have to identify, you have to select your width and height, and then you have to just change this, so it will changing your size. Page background, this is your page background color. Suppose right now it's white. Suppose if you need to change any color like yellow color, okay, and right now it's transparency, so you can select your transparency. Now it's the page color size. If you need to add any image on this page, you can directly add image and select any images. If you have like, let me add, mm, okay, suppose if you add this image, go to this normal and fit. Now see, you can add image also. Okay, you can add image also into your background. So that is the benefit of this Power BI. You can add multiple things. We just go page size, page background. So right now I need to remove this because I don't need this image. Color is okay. And now page alignment, you can add top, vertical, or that kind of thing. Okay. Wallpaper, suppose if you need to add any wallpaper of this image, you can add wallpaper also. Add wallpaper image. Filter pane, this I will tell you later. Background color, okay. And okay, this I will tell you later, not necessary for now. So it means total of pages presentation. If you select any page, if you need to change any page format orientation, you can select via this, and you have to select this two or three column to select the page. And now this is my crypto portfolio, guys. So we need to write our some measures into this. So for creating a measure, you have to select one modeling, go to this modeling and select new measure, new table. Now the name as key measure table. Key measure, and just click on enter. Your new table is ready, but this table is we have created only for our measures function, our DAX function. So before creating any measure, first I am going to go my data crypto portfolio. This is my main data. Currency wise, serial number, name, Bitcoin name, count. This is my dates, high price, low price, open price, close price, volume, and market cap. So suppose if you are knowledge about little bit market knowledge, suppose if you little bit know about market knowledge, what is
Yeah, Harsh,
market
sorry
actually
for
show?
interrupting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Harsh,
Yeah, yeah.
Yasvendra here. So here you have mentioned key measure, right? So please, can you tell me what is a measure in here means like key measure?
Yeah, right. See, measure is like, suppose if you have knowledge about Excel, in Excel you have to write some functions to calculation. Like if you need some of the column, some of the complete column, you have to write a sum function in Excel. Let me show you. Suppose this is 10, 10, 10, 10. Suppose if you need total of this, so you can use a sum function, and then this is total. If you need average, you can select your average function. This is, and you can select all these things, and this is your average function. So this function you can use sum, average. In Excel, we have to use via functions. This is functions. But in Power BI, these function name as DAX. That is a difference. DAX means data analytics measure. Data analytic expression. Okay, so this is called as DAX function, and functions we have used in Excel, DAX we have used in Power BI. All the things we have similar, like some function we are using in DAX, Power BI also, average also, count. Suppose if you need count, I can use count. So you can use count also. This is 4. So this is count function. So these three functions used into Excel is called as function. If these three functions we use in Power BI is called as DAX expression. Okay.
Okay, means these measures are only applicable for only columns, you mean to say?
Not only for column, on as per table also. Because in functions in Excel, let me show you. In Excel, we are using this function for a range wise, particular range wise. But in DAX function, we are using in Power BI for particular column wise. It means total number of range it is including. That is the reason we cannot do any automation in Excel without any range, given. Suppose right now, if you see, I have select range C3 to 66. But if I select column F, it means it does not select any range. If I select this complete, it does not select any range. But if you select particular column, then it is given you a range. Okay, then only it is given you a range. If you select particular column, it will not give you a range. But in Power BI, if you select particular column, it will give you a range. Okay, no worry, I will just explaining in just 1 or 2 minutes. I am just going to explain how to do. So right now we have total number of Bitcoin currency, total number of currency. Suppose if you need the total number of currency you have, how to calculate. So click on this new measure here, 3 dots, new measure. So now we need total number of currencies we have. We have to make a total number of currencies. Set how many currency we have into our data. It means total number of count we need. So you can write it here as total currency. Okay, and now you can use your function. See, count function. Function means fx count, and it is asking you a column name. In which column you have to count. Okay, so right now I'm going to use my crypto symbol count. So drag here crypto symbol table, and name. This is your column name. Crypto symbol is a table name is a column name, and when you click on this enter, it will give you the total currency count. See total currency and select one card over here. This is the card visualization, guys, and drag this value into this card and see you have total currency you have analyzing for 23 currency you have total. Okay, and now you have to just go to this background, you can off, so it will be complete inside. Now you have total currency is for 23rd currency, 23 currency you have. Okay, so this type of visualization you can create into this Power BI, total reporting calculation wise. Because guys, calculation is very important. And right now see, when you click over there, this close price and drag sum into card, it will give you the total of this close price. But this is a implicit measure. What is we called about implicit and what we talked about explicit, guys? See, implicit measure is those measure which is Power BI or automatically created into Power BI, which does not have any reusable purpose. Implicit measure you cannot reusable purpose. Okay, because if I click on this close tab, See, right now it's sum. If I need average, it should be same as average 987. But if I click on this and select minimum, it is a minimum number of those rows. Minimum number of those rows. Okay. If I select maximum, it will give you the maximum of those rows. Okay. So sorry, this is not actually reusable purpose, and this that is why we called as this is implicit measure. Okay, and explicit measure is, guys, this, because if I select this, there is a no option of sum, average, or anything. If you select count, then only count is there only. See, right now it's sum. Right now it's sum, and every cryptocurrency department we are going to using average function. So now right now it's average. But if we need same thing via function, same thing via DAX function, you can just click on this new measure. Let me complete show you what is the difference between explicit and implicit. And now average, close price average. Now you can use your function as average and select your column name. Crypto portfolio and close price, and just enter. Sorry. Select this card and see the value is same, but the function is different, because if you select on this price, you can change different things. But if you select over this price, you cannot change. So this function is reusable, but this is not reusable. Okay, this is not reusable purpose. So that is the reason we always calculate DAX function and try to make some further calculation via only this function, only this DAX expression, because this is called as explicit. I'm going to write it here as explicit. Oh, yeah, size is big. This is called as explicit measure. Same way, copy and just paste it. Instead of explicit, I write it here as implicit. So this is the implicit measure. Same way, if you click on this high, it is also implicit. Select this card, go to this average 1.2k. It's also like implicit measure. Same way, if you click on this close price, new measure again. Right now I need high average price, so I'm just going to use the same function. High price average, and you can use average function of high price, crypto portfolio high price. Select this. See, the answer is same.